Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing pretty well today. We are going to be talking about, is Wuthering Waves too grindy? If you like these kinds of videos, be sure to check out my guides as well. And I really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and join the Discord, right? Let's get started. So to answer the question, I'm simply going to say that it depends. There definitely are aspects that are definitely, really grindy, but there are also aspects that are not really that grindy. Let me explain that. Wuthering Waves has been out for around a month now, and because of that, players are able to complete their main quests, they're able to experience the world, and also progress their characters. And when progressing their characters, one of the main things they need to do is farm echoes. Now, how do you farm echoes? Well, you kind of just go out into the world, and you are able to find the different bosses, or the different mobs that are spawning throughout the world, and you just kill them. Now, when you kill them, there is a pity that, you will get the echoes at a certain amount. I believe for the normal cost 1s to cost 3s, you're able to get them after 3 consecutive kills. And then for the cost 4s and above, which actually, what am I saying? There's only the cost 4s. You're basically going to get that once every other echoes that you defeat. So for instance, if you're not able to get it within the first one, then the next echo that you kill is guaranteed to drop the echo. So for this exact reason, there's already been a lot of implementations to help players farm the echoes at a reasonable pace. However, I still believe that it's a little bit too grindy because of the fact that although we do have the databank levels that we can get up to 20, which will give us a base drop rate of 20%, I believe that, the wait time for the echoes between spawnings and the fact that, it's not going to be guaranteed every single time just gives it a lot of time to actually farm the echoes. But I also believe that not only is it a bit on the grindier side, it's also a bit repetitive, when we're doing the same thing, for instance, finding the same rotations for one of the most popular characters, for instance, which is Galcharo. Let's say that we're fighting the Thundering Memphis and then we're going to the Tempest Memphis. This repetitive act doesn't really make the game too fun, but it's also one of the things that we kind of have to do in order to progress our characters even further. All right, let's take a quick break. So Paxify, the sponsor of this video, has given countless players massive discounts as high as 35% on in-game items. Paxify is a Discord community with over 10k members that saved players over $4.1 million over the last 3 years. And guess what? They're launching an app that makes getting discounts effortless. It's going to be launched towards the end of June. It's the first specialized app, and the Paxify team has prepared special bonuses for our community. Now here's why I'm excited. So you can get early bird bonuses where you can enjoy an additional 15% savings on top of regular discounts for a limited time. You can also get free credits, which you can get up to 500, and you don't need to use your credit cards. You can also get VIP treatment where you get these statuses on both the app and the Discord, and you can also get exclusive access, which beta players can look forward to extra perks. And finally, you can also get the key player perks. If you're leading an alliance or playing at a very high level, you can expect special offers tailored to make your team even stronger. Alright, the spots are limited, so all you have to do is click on the description to join the waiting list to get every single one of the perks. Alright, now let's get back to the video. I feel like if there's a way that we can make the echo farming a little bit easier or a little bit more fun, I think that's definitely something that we could, work on. And another thing about the echoes is the fact that the tacit fields, which is one of the main sources for us to get the echoes, I believe the echo XPs, are a little bit too expensive. And what I mean by that is that the wave plates that are going to be using to redeem the rewards when you beat every single tacit fields are at 60 wave plates. Now, comment down in the description below, what kind of wave plates would you like to see, because for me, 60 wave plates to redeem the reward is a little bit too expensive. I think if we have maybe 50 or even 40 wave plates to redeem the rewards to get the echoes and the XPs, I think that's going to be a lot easier for a lot of people to, kind of farm for the echoes. Now, they could do that, but they could also make it so that there are multiple different avenues to get the XPs. There are the stores and the other events that we can get the XPs from, but I think if there's another reliable way that we can consistently get XP from, I think that, builds a lot of options, more rooms, and would also make the game more fun to essentially level up the echoes. And speaking of the XPs, I know a lot of people are having trouble trying to get the premium turners, which thankfully the events that are coming up are really, super helpful. For instance, one of the most recent events are actually giving us a lot of the premium turners and the echo XPs so that we can kind of like manage and temporarily have enough to tune our echoes. However, even that is kind of like a temporary solution, and if there's a way to consistently again get the premium turners or even anything else, I think that would make the game just a tad bit better. But who knows? It could also make the game worse. I really don't know. It's just kind of like a discussion, I guess, that I wanted to talk about. So moving on to the next thing is the fact that a lot of people are saying that the character progressions are grindy as well. So as we all know, there are a lot of resources that goes into the characters to level them up, to bring them up to their maximum potentials. So for instance, you'll need to get the correct flowers, the correct resources, the correct boss drops, and the correct amount of credits to level up the characters. But you also need the correct amount of materials for the weapons and the credits to level up the weapons as well. And you can't also forget about the fact that each character has their own skills that needs to be leveled up. So it's very similar to other games such as Genshin Impact, and there are definitely aspects where Wuthering Waves are remarkably cheaper to actually, level up the characters. However, I think one thing that Wuthering Waves could definitely work on and implement is the fact that when you're fighting different echoes and different mobs, you can actually get a higher increase in the experience boost. So I know a lot of people are using the potions for their weapons and even the characters, but if you're going to be getting a lot of XP from fighting the mobs, then there's going to be less incentive to actually utilize the potions and actually incentivize players to farm even more, because it's going to be faster for them to level up and actually have another reason why they should fight the echoes. And now this is a question that I want to ask you guys specifically. So what do you guys think about autocomplete features in Wuthering Waves? Do you guys think it's a bad thing, or if it's a good thing? For instance, what if we had an autocomplete feature kind of like Genshin, where in Genshin you had the characters kind of farm for materials, but in Wuthering Waves they would farm for XP materials or even premium turners or things like that. I think it's going to give us a little bit more resources, and it's also going to make things more interesting because every day we'll have something to look forward to and to collect. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, which was the fact that the event called the alloy smelting was actually pretty grindy. However, I do believe they toned it down because initially the event had 140,000 points that they required in order to get every single reward, but they did tone it down to 90,000, which is really nice to see, and clearly shows that they're actively working on making the experience less grindy, so that's definitely a huge plus. But let's move on to some of the aspects of the games that are really not that grindy and actually super fun. So here are some of the moments or things that don't really feel like grindy. And the first one is obviously going to be the story quests and the cutscenes in them. Honestly, after going through all the main quests and even the side character quests, I generally did enjoy all of them. And if I were to make another account and kind of just go through them again, I honestly would enjoy them quite a bit. I don't think there's an issue with that, and it really does feel, pretty engaging to play the game. And the other thing is the fact that the way that they implemented the exploration system is honestly quite fantastic. The fact that you can actually go into the databanks, level up your databanks to increase your stamina and to increase the drop rate by just simply exploring the world and finding different mobs to kill is really awesome. It's, a really cool take on artifact systems, and it is one of the most unique things that makes the game super fun. It's also the fact that when exploring, you also are able to guarantee basically where the echoes are. If you go into the databank, you're able to go down to the second section, I believe, and track down each echo that you want to farm. So that's also just, a lot of small things, but a lot of cool things that really do help the players, enjoy things just a little bit more. Another thing I want to talk about is the fact that when you do kill the echoes, or when you do farm for materials that are out in the world, it feels really good. The fact that when you do kill them, they're not going to expire. For instance, the echoes are gonna stay there until you do collect them. And also for the materials, when they break, they're instantly going to be collected. As opposed to Genshin, they're kind of just gonna stay in the ground, and you're going to have to manually pick them up until you can't, until it expires. So you have to wait and, kind of be careful of that. But in Wuthering Waves, thank God we don't have something like that. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that the co-op system actually is very fun, and it actually makes the game feel less grindy. When you're with the players and you're, facing difficult bosses, for instance, I am at Union level 70 now, or sorry, Union level 40. So I'm able to, fight level 70 echoes and bosses, and it definitely is getting a little bit more difficult and more time consuming. So when I'm streaming on Twitch and, just enjoying the game, I have people coming into my world, and it's honestly so much fun just kind of like just farming echoes together and just watching videos. So that definitely does help a lot. And I know a lot of people who had ping issues with the co-op mode. However, I'm pretty sure that they're actively working to make the game feel, I guess, less laggy, and just working on the ping system in general. And finally, I specifically wanted to talk about events that are really, really engaging. And the fact that one of the events called the Depths of Elusive Realm is honestly one of the best events that I've probably played in Wuthering Waves, and also in other games. It's a very unique take on the characters, and the fact that you can utilize different abilities to kind of make the characters even more overpowered. And depending on who you go for and the echoes that you go for, you can essentially do anything, which is really cool. If they're able to provide more events like this, which is very unique, into the future, then I'd honestly like spend all day playing Wuthering Waves. But to be fair, I'm kind of already doing that, so there's that. But yeah, I hope this becomes something that they can easily work on, just improve on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the description below. And again, if you guys like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.